Alright everyone, here is, we're going to start part 1 of the mower shootout I promised, between the John Deere 14 SE, Honda 214, and the Toro Recycler. I just wanted to make a quick note, it isn't going to be quite fair. I did get the 14 SE running, but the belt is bad. So the transmission slips a little bit. It does work, but it slips quite a bit, so I got to put a belt on it. But otherwise, it is ready to go. I decided I'm not going to bag because the lawn is just mowed, and I don't have a place to dump the grass. So I guess start out part 1 here. We will go with power units, starting with the John Deere. It has a full pressure lube 5.5 horse Kawasaki. With you can put an optional oil filter on it. The Honda, of course, has a Honda 4.5 horse, or no, 4 horse power unit, full pressure lube, and the Toro has a 5.5 horse Suzuki full pressure lube. All three of these are pull start, except for the SE, which is an optional electric start, which does not work. They are all easy starting between 1 to 2 pulls, all quiet and very fuel efficient. I don't have exact specs, but this isn't a very technical shootout. This is just your basics, what the average person is going to go to a store and look at these and see. All three are overhead valve. All three, or both of them, have integrated fuel tanks. I guess the Toro really doesn't. I guess it does. No, scratch that. Now to the decks. All three have cast aluminum decks. From unloading and loading these mowers out of the back of the pickup, I would say the Toro has to be the lightest. Like I said, once again, I don't have exact specs, but just from loading and unloading these mowers, the Toro feels like the lightest, Honda second lightest, and the John Deere the heaviest. All three have blade brake clutches. The Toro is the worst. You'll hear it once it starts up that it does make quite a bit of noise. The John Deere is making a little bit of noise, and the Honda is zero noise. And they are all adjustable at all 4 corners. Transmission wise, the John Deere is definitely ahead in this category with a 5-speed tough torque transmission. The Toro, I'm not sure the brand of the transmission, but the Toro has a 3-speed, and the Honda has a 2-speed transmission that's shaft drive. Once again, I said this wasn't a very fair shootout, once again, because I don't have a cable for the Honda for the shift cable. I have ordered it, I just have not received it yet. So I haven't been able to test it completely like I have wanted to. So the John Deere will definitely be ahead in this transmission category, just based on the 5-speed transmission. And now we get out back here on the wheel adjusters. If you look, the John Deere is greasable, Honda is not, and the Toro is greasable. Now up to the handlebars. In my opinion, again, I think the John Deere is the best in this category for convenience at the handle. This is your blade brake handle here, blade brake cable, self-propelled handle here, throttle and gear position selector. This would be the second most convenient. I like the self-propelled cable. I'm not a huge fan of the blade brake handle just because it's tinier. But once again, we have our throttle here and our gear selector. Now, in my opinion, once again, the Toro would be the worst in handlebar convenience, just because it's all one lever. Down and up, blades engaging right there. A little bit up farther, you have your self-propelled. To let off the self-propelled, you back it off about that much. Not a very good choice in my opinion. So this will be the end of part 1 of the shootout, which is just an overview of the mowers. Part 2, we are going to start them and run all the components and check for smoothness, ease of starting, and all that. So stay tuned for part 2.